Hey YouTube, just coming at you with another video as promised, and I want to talk about pendulums more in depth, just kind of give my thoughts because they're now becoming tangible, and some people are very against pendulums. I personally, I really like them, so yeah, pendulums to me they're not any different than what the current meta is. And what the current meta is fast. Very, very fast. Most decks are built to have an offense and a defense. Some are, more towards defense, some are more towards offense. If you look at Boojins, Boojins are extremely defensive deck. Okay? If you look at Dragon Rulers, they're an extremely offensive deck. So, which wins out? Well, Pendulums are an extremely offensive deck. The only difference between Pendulums and Dragons and their brokenness is that Pendulums can be easily dealt with. Dragons couldn't really be easily dealt with. That's why they got hit over and over and over again. Now, this archetype right here, the Clipos, are very good. They're really consistent as far as pendulum goes. There's only 18 pendulums. There's the Entermates, which I think is a hilarious name to call it an Entermate. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but I don't care. It's Entermate. There's these two, which are really awful. There's Rescue Rat, which it might see some play. It's kind of an interesting card. It's not going to see any play definitely until we get actual pendulum things going. And then there's these DD guys over here who are trying to start up their own thing, but they're not particularly good. Odd Eyes, the Sangan of the group, he is very good. And then there's these two. Honestly, I would run these two if this guy or girl, I don't know, was a scale 8. Or a scale 9 even. I'd love it if it was a scale 9. Because then I wouldn't have to play these two. I could just play these two. Because these two are way better than these two. The reason that these two are better is because if I play this card, A, I get to use its effect to pop a back row. That's nice. Assuming it's face up, of course. But A, it doesn't have any stipulations. Like if I play this card and I don't have the other thing to make it nice, it doesn't play well with other cards. It becomes a scale 4. Now, in some decks, having a scale 4 might be good. Like, you don't play level 4s, so it doesn't matter. I play level 4s in a lot of decks. This guy, he's a 2. He's a 2 always. It's perfect. This guy's a 7. He's a 7 always. The only problem is I want to use my Odd Eyes, and Odd Eyes is a 7. So, right now, you're stuck playing Clipos. Whether you like them, whether you hate them, if you want to do pendulums well, Clipos. That's what you have to do. Now, when pendulums come out, which they already have, I think, or at least the starter deck, I think, came out, or it's coming out very soon. I'm not entirely sure. Zero research is done. But they're going to do nothing. People might play them for fun, but competitively speaking, they are going to do zero things at all. And it's not until we get these clip-offs that anything's going to be done in a kind of competitive sense. Excuse me. You can totally play the Magicians, and you can make a deck work with them. And sometimes you'll win, sometimes you'll lose, it'll be fine. Clip-offs are where people are complaining that it's broken. Now, people were complaining about the Magicians that it was broken, but we've all kind of seen how they are actually not broken. And the reason that they're not broken is because they're so easily dealt with. Like, MST ruined my day. Like, there's nothing you can do to stop it, especially with this guy who's just a dick, and if I have a board, I can't bring him out. So if I, let me special summon whatever I want, destroy this guy, and then you can just wreak havoc on me if you've got the cards to stop my monsters. Because I can't do anything. I have monsters on the field. is so fucking annoying. But I think once the clip-offs come out, a ton of people are going to run the Monarch variant. They might run other variants as well. And people are going to kind of go nutty and be like, oh, everyone's just running clip-offs. Everyone's running clip-offs. This is just so bad. I just can't stand it. Well, that's kind of how Yu-Gi-Oh! Goes. Like, when a deck is really good, everyone plays it because they want to win. Just like everyone plays Geargia, Mermails, Infernities, Boojins. Like, that's why you play the deck. It's because it wins more times than not. Now, if you're someone like me who just kind of play with your friends and things like that, then using these two guys, totally viable, totally usable, because we don't run meta decks most of the time, because more times than not, we're extremely cheap, poor bastards. So we just don't do it. Now, these guys are going to be really cheap because they're coming out in a starter deck. You buy 3 starter decks, you have, you know, the white trash version of Pendulums, you know, your white trash starter kit right there. Then we'll get, you know, the higher ends right here. Once the clip-offs come out, everyone's probably going to play them for a bit. And it's going to take some time, and there's going to be a period where everyone's just running Pendulums. Eventually, it'll balance out. People will not play Pendulums solely. They'll either mix, or they'll even go to an archetype that requires 0 Pendulums. And I know that to some people that sounds crazy and everyone's just like, Pendulums are too broken, but I mean, really? Like, the meta currently is super fast. Every deck in the meta is able to get 3-4 monsters out in one turn. I don't know why they're complaining so much that the Pendulums are able to do the same thing. Now, the broken part about Pendulums is that the extra deck aspect, when they're destroyed, they get sent to the extra deck, and then you can keep special summoning from the extra deck. That, yes, that is broken. But sorry, I was reading something and I lost my train of thought. So that is broken, yes, undeniably so. But at most, you're going to be special summoning like 1, because first you have to set up your scale. That's 2 monsters. Clip-off lets you replenish 1 of them, so you have at least 1 in your hand. Maybe you have another, so you can special summon 2 monsters, but that's all you can do because you can only special summon clip-off monsters. And while these guys allow you to special summon anything, like let's say you used an Odd Eyes to get him out, so you have an Odd Eyes in your extra deck. You scale these guys, you have an Odd Eyes in your extra, and then you have whatever's in your hand. If you special summon all of it, and then your opponent torrential tributes all of it, you just lost your entire hand. That is a massive hit because of the glass cannon effect. So, yes, they're going to be annoying, but eventually everything's going to pan out, everything's going to be fine, and they're not going to be the only thing that is played. Okay? It's happened before. It'll happen again when, like, they make monster traps for Pendulums or something like that, you know, the new gimmick that they pull out. Yes, in the beginning, people are going to go crazy and they're going to only run those things. Now, XYZs happen, they only ran XYZs. What happens now? Most decks are running a percentage of synchros and a percentage of XYZs. Why? Because it's better to run both, because then you have more options. Okay? There is no Leo XYZ monster. There is no Star Eater XYZ monster. Okay? Those are synchro monsters. Now there are cards that are similar, yes, but they're not quite the same. They don't offer you the same thing. That's why it's beneficial to run Leo, Star Eater, Stardust in some cases. But yeah, I don't think Pendulums are too broken, especially if you just take a step back and look at what the meta is, what the meta has been, and how broken it has been in the past. I don't think there's that big of a disconnect between what Pendulums will do and what they are doing. Now, of course, this is based off of 18 cards. Konami notoriously likes to just put out shit, I think, and charge it like, $50 and laugh their asses off while everyone's crying salty tears because that card is so fucking broken. But realistically, Pendulums are not going to do a ton in the beginning. They're not going to do a ton in the middle. It's only going to be once they start getting actual support and things like that, which is not going to be for, I'd probably guess, a year. Because, we're not going to get these guys anytime soon, I don't think. And if we do, it's going to be the end of the year sometime. So you'll have to deal with it then. Maybe going into the next year, there'll be more support and things like that. But honestly, it's going to balance out. It will be okay. It's not the end-all, be-all. People are not going to run. People are not going to forget about the Bujins or the Infernities or the Giragias of the formats that are to come. Okay, they're going to play them all the same because they're the best. That's just how it is. If you want to play the game competitively, you have to play the best. And for a time, Pendulums will be the best. After that, they will not be the best. People will not play them because they are just that. They are a gimmick. They will be seen, they'll be heard, but it's just going to be exactly like Synchros. It's going to be exactly like XYZ. Once the new thing comes out, it'll blow over, and then they'll go back to a state of balance and equilibrium. I promise. If you're scared about Pendulums, don't worry. You're not going to have to deal with them for a long, long time. And then even then, it will not be that big of a deal because we'll have tons of things to deal with the problem. It'll be okay. I promise. That's just my thoughts on it. Let me know if you disagree, if you agree, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.